Hey, as you can tell, I saw the post yesterday, and that I'm so tired. My sleep schedule is slightly messed up. Alright, what all do I need? Well, yeah, as you can tell, I finally got my dream tan, I guess. Yeah, so I saw it yesterday. That sucks, to say the least, that you're, and especially since you had, like, more of your life to spend and talk with him on a regular basis. And it sounds like it's hitting hard, especially since your aunt is, I think I know where I want to go. I'm going to go to the library. Yeah, it sounds as though it's hitting your aunt, and then yeah, your cousins, you, pretty much all the relatives. Because again, like, your family seems very, very close. So, I just woke up like 5 minutes ago. Yeah, overall it sounds like your family is very, very close. So, yeah, that sucks a lot. Like, a lot. Feels good. I would ask, are you okay? But you're not okay. Sissy. Like, at all. I guess one of the positives would be he didn't suffer. I don't think this was, like, it sounds like it wasn't expected at all either. And because it wasn't expected, I don't know if anyone had a chance to say goodbye. That sucks, like, a lot. That really, really sucks. Like, so much. So, yeah. Hey, at least you have your fiance there, so. I'm still right now I'm in the C for Charlie. Actually, ironically enough, I promise I did not plan for this at all. A few days ago, I was like, I wish you were here. Like, not even to, like, touch me or anything like that. Because, you know, you're engaged. But, like, just so that you could sit there and, like, I could talk to you. And that's it. Or, like, you could talk to me. And just have someone there for morale support. Not moral support, for morale support. That's it. So, yeah. Anyways, that really sucks. I hope, what's today? Tuesday? Monday. Today's Monday. Yeah, that's a lot. So, yeah, especially since. since your sibling is traveling in from out of town. I don't know if you can hear that. But yeah, that's a lot. So, yeah, especially since your sibling is traveling in from out of town. I don't know if you can hear that. But yeah, that's a lot. So, yeah, especially since your sibling is traveling in from out of town. I don't know if you can hear that. But yeah, that's a lot. So, yeah. Especially since your sibling is traveling in from out of town. you're having to come in from out of town. I'm glad your fiance is there. I hope. I don't know. Can I get breakfast? Oh, yeah. So, okay, to put this on the flip positive side. So, the Taco Bell's up there. There's only like one, maybe two Taco Bells in the area that serve breakfast out of like the dozen or so that are available. This Taco Bell serves breakfast. I looked up in the city that I was in. By the way, the city that I'm now staying in is the city of R for Romeo. So that is the Domino's location that I'm at. I would tell you how I actually feel or how I feel about it, but I can't because it's on this. And I actually have a small following. I didn't expect me to have a small following. But yeah. Today I go into work at 5. I think the rest of the work days of the week I go into work at 11 a.m. Prayers for me that I will have self-control and wisdom. That's all I can say about me and work. Well, I want to say so much more, but like prayers that I will have self-control and wisdom during this time. So, yeah. So that way nothing bad happens. But yeah, that overall really, really sucks. In regards to your family and everything. Yeah. Because, again, your family is close-knit, and I really, really admire that. And I know, or I 100% imagine you guys would check up on each other like once a week or something. And then I wonder how like you guys navigated being around each other and such. Oh, just to clarify, because I realized there are 2 cities with that start with R. It's the city in the north. So the city that starts with R, that's just north of, the main city. So yeah, I'll be there today at 5 until 2 a.m. and then on Tuesday I'm off. Wednesday through, I think, Saturday, I go in at like 11, I think. Or Sunday. It's one of those 2 days. I forget which day. I'm off tomorrow, so what I may end up doing is like, no, I think I'm working tomorrow. I am so confused. It's not a consistent schedule, so I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I feel bloated. Dang it. I need to eat more fiber. That's what it is. My sandals also, I stepped into some gas, so my sandals smell like gas. So, yeah. Oh, bright sun. Yeah, but I 100% imagine. I would say no, but I'm not experiencing, or like, I'm not there. I don't get those calls or whatever. I 100% imagine, like, you guys would call and check up on each other at least once a week. At least. So yeah, you guys would do that, and then you guys would just talk and interact with each other, and be there for each other and just like love on each other. So yeah, I definitely imagine that. What else was there? Yeah, I definitely imagine that, and I yeah, that really sucks, because like phone calls, and like I remember there was like some kind of chocolate pie. I wonder if you have the recipe for it. I really, really hope you have the recipe for it, because it sounds like it was like a deep rooted family tradition to eat that chocolate pie. I could be wrong. I think it's chocolate pie. Oh yeah, it is chocolate pie. You told a story about it one time. You did whipped cream and chocolate. You did, I think vanilla. And then another year you did whipped cream. Oh, I remember that. I do. So yeah. But that overall sucks. Just knowing that, yeah, that really sucks and is unfortunate. I don't know, like when I was younger, it's like, you imagine people will be there forever and they'll live forever. And then as you get older, people pass away. It's just normal circle of life. Unwanted, but normal circle of life. And then you get to a point where, that happens, and then you're like, okay, yeah, and then people pass away, and you're like, man, I miss this person. Oh, my back. There we go. I cracked it. Go. I really need to get those foam rollers and just roll on it. I found that helped my back crack a lot. Okay, that's too noisy. It's toward the road. But yeah, that really sucks. I guess it's like a family reunion of sorts. Definitely take photos. I know that sounds weird. But the reason why is because, like, at the end of the day, life is too short. And you don't know when you'll see each other again. And you don't know if the next time you see each other, someone else will not be there. And just having those photos there, it's good for memories. Especially when you're like, I don't know if this person's going to be here the next time we meet up. And from what I can tell, you guys meet, like, for Christmas. Like, mainly for Christmas. But, yeah, again, life is too short. You never know. People are getting older. I'm getting one step... Okay, this sounds morbid. But, like, I'm getting one day closer to death. Like, every day that passes by, I'm getting closer to death. And then, like, your aunts and uncles, they're getting older. Like, in my case, I've had... So, on my mom's side, my mom is actually the oldest and sibling. And then on my dad's side, he's lost... So, his older sister is still alive. And I think she's, like, in her 70s now, actually. And then my oldest uncle actually passed away. I forget which cancer it was. I'll have to ask my dad. But yeah, his oldest brother passed away. I remember a few years ago due to cancer. I'm pretty sure it's cancer. It's a very common thing, but he was, like, probably in his 70s. So, not natural causes, but appropriate age. So, yeah. I still remember, like, I still remember a few months ago, it never completely dawned on me that, like, you read the Bible, and then it suddenly hits you, like, wow, things were that bad. So, in the Old Testament, in Genesis, I was reading the Bible, and it's basically where... What happened? To grab basically what ends up happening? The flood came, and it was said because of their wickedness. Well, there are a couple of reasons why. Everyone did pretty much what was right in their own sight. People lived to 700, 800, 900 years old. And then also what it meant by that is that people just did whatever. There was a time in which a man was, this is, you hear the story, but it doesn't entirely click. There was a story in which a man's, I think, dad, no, it was like his great-great-grandfather. His great-great-grandfather was named Cain. And you probably know Cain. He went ahead and slew his brother Abel. And he's like, what do I do? Like, if people hear about me, they'll kill me because I killed my brother. And God is like, we're not going to do that. So he goes ahead and marks Cain. So that way, whoever kills Cain will also die themselves. So what ends up happening is that his, like, great-great-grandson, or something like that, he goes ahead and is like, yeah, somebody went ahead and, like, hit me. Like, punched or something. Not even killed. Punched him. And so he's like, for Cain, if he would have been killed, or like, yeah, killed, then that person kills. Well, 7 times 7, and he had more than one wife. He had, I think, a couple of wives. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure he had more than one wife. And he called his family together, or his wives. And was like, hey, listen, I was struck, so punched or whatever. And so based upon Cain's punishment, where it's like, if you kill him, you're killed, I decided that basically the punishment is going to be, if I am hit, I'll go ahead and increase that punishment by 7 times. So if I'm punched, and there it goes, if I'm punched, I'll go ahead and kill them. So he went ahead and killed someone for punching him. Again, it was that bad. And, you know, it's a story that you just kind of hear about. I think that story is going to stay stuck in me. Like, it doesn't dawn on you as a kid. You're just like, oh, because of the wickedness. Like, it was so bad. People killed each other because they punched. Like, somebody punched them. And that's kind of the problem that we're having today. So, yeah, this is the Bible. I'm looking for it. Okay, it was Lamech. Took 2 wives, yeah, so it was 2 wives. And so Lamech had, like, kids and such, and he's mentioned about there's people who dwell in tents that have livestock. And then another one was father of all those who play the lyre and pipe. So, like, I guess a flute. Lyre is similar to a harp. You might know all this already. And then someone else was the created instruments of bronze and iron. So he's like, hear my voice, you wives of Lamech, listen to what I say. I've killed a man for wounding me, a young man for striking me. If Cain's revenge is 7-fold, then Lamech's is 77-fold. So, like, he killed a man simply because he struck him and he hurt him. And so I think we see a little bit of that today, where basically it's like, okay, we kill each other for that. And then later on, like, I remember reading this when I was younger, but it did dawn on me, like, how bad it was. The Lord saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intention of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And the Lord regretted that he had made man on earth, and it grieved him to his heart. And he decided to basically bring the flood. Pretty much the flood account is pretty, like, you hear about it across multiple things, across multiple accounts. So, like, other accounts definitely agree that the flood happened. And then later on, so there's that, and then what else? Okay. It was so bad that even God was like, no. And for your lifeblood, so, we live for life, or we're alive because of our blood, I will require a reckoning. From every beast I will require it, and from man, from his fellow man, I will require a reckoning for. So in other words, I require, whoever kills someone is going to be killed. Whoever sheds the blood of man, or, kills a guy, by man shall his blood be shed. So I kill someone, so I have to be killed. For God made man in his image, so, stop killing each other. There's another verse where it mentions, so the reason why I mentioned all that is that people lived almost 1,000 years. They lived, it sounds like, between 700 and 900 years old. And let's see. There is a verse that basically says, along with, killing and such, I will not, nope. I will no longer, you guys will no longer live to be old, basically, 900, 700 to 900 years old. That was part of it. And part of it, of course, was if you kill someone, you will be killed. You need to be killed. You will be punished because people just did whatever. And so I'm wondering if, okay, this is going to sound bad, but I think the reason why we do not live that long, which would be wonderful to be around grandparents and such, is because people thought so wickedly and so evil that God was like, okay, your great-great-grandparents are they hit me, so here's this protection that I have upon me, or they were going to kill me, but here's this protection. And then God was like, no, this is, you're doing it to the point where somebody hurts you, not even kills, but hurts you. You're going to be killed also, or the other person is going to be killed. And God's like, that was not what I said. That is not what I wanted. And so in this case, I think to protect us, I guess, from ourselves, because again, people thought evil continuously. They did not think on God. They thought about themselves, what they wanted. It sounds like there wasn't as much law, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that worked. And so God was like, we're not going to do this anymore. And so he went ahead and was like, we are going to, what did he decide? Squirrel moment. Nobody's going to live older than 150, because basically it's like, oh, there we go. You guys are not going to live older than 150 because you're doing this continuously. And like, I guess with age at that time, people thought more and more evil. And then because of that, they might tell stories about like all that happened, or like what they were able to get away with, or like, hey, you know what? I'm so mad. I want to like kill them. And so they could go ahead and do it and get away with it. So like, yeah, I do wonder if it was like that, and God was like, you know what, because of how old people are becoming, and they had decent minds. They had decent minds, a lot better than like, let's say someone else who's 70. So like, let's say a mind of a 90-year-old is the same as someone who's like 900, or like, let's say they still have a very sharp, good mind at like 700, and their mind didn't start declining until like maybe 900 years old or something. So it sucks that it really, really sucks. And I think the only reason why he didn't live longer is because God, no, sorry, take that back. I know that was the only reason why, is because God was like, you know what? Man's thoughts are so evil that basically he wants to, like, not your relative, but like, people's thoughts are so evil that as they get older, I guess it stays evil, and then they're teaching other people like evil also, and because of that, it's influencing others to be evil. So yeah, that sucks. I do, a part of me, especially knowing how close you guys are, and your grandfather sounds as though he was awesome. Yeah. I am glad your fiance was able to meet him. I remember like the couple of times I met your grandfather. So that sucks. So yeah, I'm glad you guys meet together more than just marriages and, what was it? Marriage is one. Marriage and funerals, or weddings and funerals, and that you're able to meet once a year. That really sucks. And like, I'm sending you a virtual hug because I don't think you want me to hug you at all. Yeah, and again, like, I'll be up in the city of Romeo, like North Romeo, so you don't have to worry about coming across me. I'll go ahead and make those videos and such, so I have time today. I don't have too much planned. So yeah, which is good. Yeah. So it sucks that he passed away, but basically God was like, I don't want people to live until 900, because at that time they were not following God. He's like, I don't want people to live until 900 years old. Otherwise, they're going to, like, kill each other ruthlessly and do whatever they want. So, it also sounds as though, like, since he's like, don't eat the lifeblood, it sounds as though people would go ahead and, like, eat animals without cooking them, basically. Or if they did cook them, they put the blood back into it like it was a normal, common thing, and then have it raw. So, didn't pick up that until now. So, yeah. But I honestly, like, I don't know what your relative would have been like at 100 years old. I just know that things were so evil back then that God was like, no, we're not going to have this again. We can't have it. So it's basically a curse that you did not get to spend more time with your relative. But it's... Have you heard of the phrase necessary evil? Simply because it's like, if this does not happen, then I'm gonna destroy everyone, basically. So, yeah. Or, like, basically, like, people are going to kill each other needlessly. So, yeah. I guess it's, like, a blessing and a curse. I am glad that you were able to spend time with your relative. Doesn't sound as though it was expected at all. I did wish you guys had a chance to say goodbye. That would have been nice. Goodbyes are hard. Goodbyes suck. I don't like them. I wish, yeah. Are you going into work? She did like a skip. It's 7:47. She did a little skip whenever she came in. It was cute. A little hop. So, yeah. I'm glad your family is there for each other. So, yeah. But yeah, again, I'll be making more videos. I'm glad that your fiance is there with your sibling. I'm glad that they have their, like, what was it? Sons there? Kids there? There we go. Sons, daughters, kids there. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Safe travels. Definitely safe travels for your entire family. Especially you and your sibling. I don't know who else is traveling from out of town. It sounds like everybody's sort of close by, though. Everybody else is close by, so yeah. I'll talk to you later. Bye.